was simply too autobiographical. And there's nothing tying all the various narrative arcs together. There's plenty to change about the book. We can agree on that. Right now it reads more like a collection of anecdotes than a cohesive novel. But weren't you struck by the author's distinctive voice? It's hard to believe this 30-year-old writer hasn't published anything before. Not even a short story. I marveled at the prose and the nuanced depictions of setting.
Marguerite looks at you sheepishly.
I suppose I hadn't noticed all that. And what about the characters? Don't you think there's a reason you felt it was autobiographical? The characters were so three-dimensional, so real. It's as if you and I could be standing in a room with them right now.
Now Marguerite looks embarrassed. You aren't intending to scold her. You just want her to learn from the experience, so you soften your tone.
This manuscript is a perfect candidate for a publishing house like ours.
Why?
So that I could talk freely at a conference.
What did you want to talk about freely?
How dangerous AI could be. I realized that these things will one day get smarter than us, and we've never had to deal with that. And if you want to know what life's like when you're not the apex intelligence, ask a chicken. So there's risks that come from people misusing AI, and then there's risks from AI getting super smart and deciding it doesn't need us.
Is that a real risk?
Yes, it is, but they're not going to stop it because it's too good for too many things.
What about regulations?
They have some, but they're not designed to deal with most of the threats. Like, the European regulations have a clause that says none of these apply to military uses of AI.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
One of your students left OpenAI.
Yeah, he was probably the most important person behind the development of the early versions of ChatGPT, and I think he left because he had safety concerns. We should recognize that this stuff is an existential threat, and we have to face the possibility that unless we do something soon, we're near the end.
So let's do the risks. And what do we end up doing in such a world?
Brockman, so I don't know what he's talking about.
But that definitely wasn't you getting a foot massage from a Russian girl in Jeffrey Epstein's house.
No.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship, a 4-day house party of sorts with a dinner. It's an odd way to break up a friendship.
It's a difficult way of putting it. That's a very stark way of putting it. Yes, you're absolutely right. But actually, the truth of it is that I actually only saw him for about the dinner party.
You're even talking and you're like, really? Oh, this looks terrible. I was like, what?
Sometimes I can't see the monitor very well, and I can't tell if it looks bad or good.
Sometimes I can't see when I'm filming. It's fine.
Oh, I just realized I'm not wearing my wedding ring.
Oh, scandal. Let's address it now.
People are going to think,
Guys, you heard it here first. No.
Bad news, guys.
Bad news.
No,
scandal.
I took it off because I spray tanned myself.
I feel like when I have a wedding ring one day, I will like never wear it all the time. Like, because sometimes rings really annoy me. I like want them. I want all the jewelry off me, you know? So I feel like I put it down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is, like, with my nose ring sometimes. I'm like, I don't normally take it off, but I took it off for the first time and put a new one in for, like, the first time in years.
Cute.
Thanks.
Like
I wanted a new vibe. I was sick of the silver.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it felt like good to have it out for a day. I just had a regular nose. I could, like, wipe my nose.
Yes.
Like, wild, and it wasn't sharp and cutting inside.
Yeah, no, that's always a great feeling. But anyways, hello. Welcome.
And then all the other Truth Social posts about if you ask questions, you're with the Democrats, and this is all a Democrat made up hoax, and you're just idiots. When all his surrogates had promised they'd bring this out, he talked about bringing it out. So this is Harry Carey. This is seppuku. For those that don't know, in Japanese, that means suicide. And I had the head of Rasmussen Polling on, the best polling agency, the most accurate on record today. He said Trump has lost 14 points with independents, 5 points with his main base. Like Steve Bannon said a week ago, that'll lose him before Rasmussen reported it. His dead reckoning was right. 40 seats probably in the midterms in a year and a half. This is Trump self-harming. And from all my research, you know, he knew Epstein, there were socialites, all that, but they would have already used this, that he said they had something. The Jane Does they brought out turned out weren't even real people. You know, they'd said that Melania was a hooker that Epstein introduced to her at a modeling agency. We looked into that. It was Trump's modeling agency. That wasn't.
I think I mentioned, but I read your book because my dear friend Nooper told me that I should. And every now and again, I would see you come up on my feed. I don't spend much time on Instagram anymore, but when I did, I just felt like you were having a different conversation. And it's not that I have stopped doing interviews because I want to hide myself away. I think it's because I wanted to be able to have a certain type of conversation that I didn't seem able to find a space for. And so I called Nooper and said, I think I just reached out to Jay to see if he would let me come and do his podcast.
Community of online readers has since exploded into a forum used by millions, with a hashtag powerful enough to launch a book into the New York Times bestseller list, and now it's coming to a bookstore near you, in more ways than one. TikTok users aren't merely reading to stimulate their minds. Nay, these harlots are passing around scandalous tomes, featuring tattooed mafia bosses with a soft side and fairies that
5 of my dirtiest and sexiest recommendations. You asked for it, I'm pulling out the big guns.
This is a list of books you should never read because they are so foul and nasty and disgusting. And my God, who would read such a thing?
Want some nasty, filthy, disgusting romance books? I got you.
Just mouths and holes just everywhere, and it's incredible.
In the past year or so, adult romances, or spicy books, have rapidly gained popularity online.
Why does the Earth not fall into the sun?
The sun is huge, and the Earth doesn't fall into the sun because the gravitational pull is making it circle the block, but not careen into the sun. And I don't know why it hasn't yet, but I'm glad it hasn't. But it's gravity in orbit is my answer, sir. You can't correct me.
Explain the thought experiment known as Schrodinger's cat.
There was a German scientist named Schrödinger. He had a cat, and the cat jumped off a bookshelf. Schrödinger noticed the speed that the cat jumped off, and he came up with an equation based on that, which became known as Schrödinger's cat. Schrödinger's cat. Next question, please.
What is entropy?
I should know this. This is in Physics 1.